Yeah, it's just one of those games. I don't know. I just have always. It's one of the other games. It's also one of the few games that has, you know, 2 players on the screen at the same time. Because I never realized how many games for Nintendo were basically. I just stole that extra life. I'm sorry, I'm a jerk. I'm gonna rescue this dude. But a lot of games like that where 2 players, where really just one player goes and the other one. This one's like you're both on the screen at the same time, and you know you're limited in that you can't just run around. Like, you can only go so far, but in the meantime, you can just cause endless destruction. Now we're doing some water sports here.
What?
Fire! Ah! I lost my F. Are you legit?
Bonus if you save all of the prisoners?
Not that I know of. I mean, because I've never been able to do it. I always end up murdering half of them. It's just points, and I think you do get extra lives based off of points. Yes, fire! Bring forth the fire! You know, and I also have to say that sometimes I forget. But it's kind of impressive that they have so much stuff moving on the screen at the same time. Here, you can get those guys. 2000s.
I mean, there's definitely flicker and slowdown.
Yeah, but it's still like... I don't remember games that have this many independent parts moving at the same time relatively well. I mean, for the Nintendo. Now we're back to Hag Gun. Yeah, I always have this weird obsession where I just always burn all the bridges. It's a metaphor for my life, I guess. It's like, I'm not giving him any chance to get back. I'm a gorilla. You better watch out. Damn it. You also have to develop kind of this weird technique where you can like shoot and throw grenades at the same time, because you can hold down the button to shoot your regular gun, and then you can tap to throw grenades. So you kind of have to do this like wiggle your thumb maneuver back and forth.
You can just hold it down, I think.
Can you? Oh yeah, look at that. Well, that's easier. I don't know what B does. They do. They need to make... They should do the Rambo Commando thing that they always talk about on AVGN. And now we're on this... Now we're on a boat. Now we're gonna bust up the Navy.
That's the weirdest dock.
It really is. This whole thing is weird. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is just like a whole bunch of dudes come out and we just gotta stop them out. Eventually I think some dude comes out, I think. I don't remember. Somehow we settled in. Ugh. As soon as I said it, I died. I was like, somehow we settled into actually not dying. Alright, we're up to the yellow dudes. They've run out of regular dudes, now they're sending out the important guys. Ugh. Dude, fail. The only thing about this game that does bother me is the enemies know that if they run into you, they will kill you, so most of the time they just run at you.
Should have shot him.
I tried. This game also does that weirdo off-center thing that the, yeah, it's the boss.
The dude just exploded.
Everything in this game explodes in insane ways. Look at this, secret. Can't hit him with grenades this way, but you can basically just stay up there and shoot. Just when you thought it wasn't over.
Oh shit.
And done. I think this is the end of this level.
Did you play this beforehand?
No. I just remember, I played this game so much when I was growing up. I never owned it, but it was like the #1 rental I ever had because I always always able to beat it, which made it so much fun. To me, at least. I didn't like games where I was like, as a little kid, I was never like really challenged by... I didn't like games where I was so challenged I couldn't
Yeah,
beat it.
I'll take
Like,
you on that.
you know, looking at stuff like Batman and like some of the other games like Castlevania and stuff that were just so hard that I had as a little kid. That it was like I didn't enjoy them because it was
Yeah.
like, what's the point?
Some of the fondest memories I have are of the games where I cheated.
Yeah.
And,
Just to get to the ending or whatever.
and so I was against that for a really long time. But I realize now that
Huh.
cheating lets you understand the game and then eventually go through and clear it
Frick.
without cheating.
Right. Gives you a chance to like practice.
Exactly. And so I'm not against cheating in a game.
Well, it was like the this thing on this rail has just ruined my whole life. But ugh. Well, like that was sort of one of the things that I found interesting. We were doing that debate a while back about like is beating a game with like codes or whatever cheating, and is emulation, like it kind of developed into this whole like emulation versus original console thing. And it's like, you know, there's certain, I mean, I always love using original hardware and original console and stuff, but I can definitely say as a person who likes to try to beat games, like having emulation as an option is always kind of really tempting and also really interesting, because like Castlevania, if I had a chance to like sit and like practice on Dracula, I would probably be able to beat it. The problem I have is that it takes me a while to get all the way up to him, and then by the time I get up to him, I'm like tired, or I don't feel like playing anymore, and then I die, and then it's like, well, I have to keep trying over and over again to try to get back up there. Or like Batman is the same thing. Like if I had enough time tries to run through that game using like save states or whatever, I'd probably be able to beat it. But it's just, I always just end up using original hardware, and I'm sort of at a disadvantage because I constantly have to start over. Dude, these guys in these tanks are just not fun.
So you do the emulator run with the intent to complete
Yeah.
on original hardware.
Or like when I tried to do like Metroid without a guide, I mean that was insane. I couldn't figure out where anything was, and it's so cryptic.
Well, that one I just print out a map and say, call it done.
Or like Goonies, that was the same thing. Like I practiced on Goonies on an emulator for like months before I was able to like really get through it. And even when I did it, like the video that I made of it came out terribly. Just murdering prisoners.
These barricades look like almond joys.
I never noticed that before. I always was confused by the perspective of the prisoners when they're tied up on those stakes. Like it's just really weird. They don't look right. See what I mean? Like they don't have feet or something. I don't know. There's something off about them.
You probably cut them off.
Maybe that's why they're tied up. Well, then why would they be tied up if they didn't have
So
to?
are we Che Guevara?
I don't know. I guess so. I always wondered that if this was like some secret like communist propaganda game, or it was like join the revolution, fight against capitalism or something. I don't know. I don't know if they ever actually said that it was something like that. They probably kept it generic.
They don't need a plot for this kind of game.
Yeah, it's just destroy. Rescue prisoners if you feel like it. This is why the T is so fun, because you can cause extra mayhem with it. It's got splash damage. This might be the first AoE game, or AoE weapon in a game.
What's that mean?
Area of effect. So it like hits an area and then damages it for a period of time. I mean, it's pretty brief, but still.
I don't know that. MMO talk.
Yeah, you know that fancy World of Warcraft talk? So this part is really funny. So we had to fight these dudes in a bulldozer that's on a railway car, or on the rail tracks for some reason. It's pretty easy. But then they capture us. And then they throw us through a mountain for some reason. And look how far they throw us. That's some distance. So now we gotta bust up this mine. But first, bonus stage.
That turn is giving me a headache.
I remember Brett and I used to play this when we were little. We'd always choose sides. Like, you'd be left and I'd be right or whatever, which is we're actually doing right now without even thinking about it. Ugh. Look how high my score's gonna be. I'm gonna put my initials in at the top.
What was the Contra that looked just like this?
There was a Contra game that looked like this?
Yeah, you know it's like when you make the turns, it like does that like...
Oh, I think you're talking
Super
about
Contra?
Contra 3.
Yeah.
Because they're in the outside levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll splice that in so people can understand what we're saying if they haven't seen it before. But to be honest, if you're watching this video, you're probably a retro gamer.
Nobody's watching this video.
I'm watching this video. Also, the music will definitely get stuck in your head. Done.
I remember these boss fights lasting a lot longer.
I think we just sucked at the game when we were little, and now we actually know what the hell we're doing.